think you're going to give us some advice, right? So
Yeah,
this
fair
is Stop It Journalist. So again,
enough.
if you can recap, you say
Yeah.
we tend to fight content that disinforms the people, that's not right, that have their facts wrong, right?
Yeah, exactly. So stop doing that. Stop
Yeah.
fact checking in hindsight and saying this is not true, whatever was written in this blog or whatever this tweet said, and start focusing on the process. So disinformation is generally spread in many different ways, and very often it is spread by users that are not actual users. So this idea of inauthentic behavior, and specifically coordinated inauthentic behavior, which means that there's a group of people who are faking accounts and acting like they are actual people spreading news, are riling up all of this storm online. The problem there is that if we counter that by saying everyone can say what they get to say, and that's freedom of speech, so let's allow freedom of speech, you forget the part that this kind of organized behavior actually limits freedom of speech. It actually creates a space in which one side gets attention that is not proportional to the amount of people actually believing in that type of information. So no.
I can see where you're going, but you just talked about, you say it's coordinated, inauthentic actions. Do you have maybe some sort of real world example about what DROG encountered or what research told you?
Yeah, sure. So, for example, in the Netherlands, there was a journalist who found out that one of our biggest pop singers in the country was actually using a whole group of accounts to popularize his own account and his status. And there they found that out because a certain number of users was logging in at exactly the same order every single time and liking his posts in the same way. So what they found out is that set of users is actually connected because they are always logging up, liking something at the same rate. With the result that he actually became very, very famous and got many social media fame, but was also attacking other artists and starting to see a bad side of this in a sense that was not okay. A worse story maybe even was
I forgot the name of the artist, by the way, but maybe someone in the audience could add the name to the live chat and then as a reminder. But then you say a more maybe dark example.
I think a darker like that I think is really a good example to see how it works. Also, definitely go read the article about him by Robert van der Noorda. But a worse example was maybe even a set of data where they found out that a certain set of users was only posting stuff between 9 and 12 on weekdays. And again, finding out that this set of users is probably related, spewing the same information or disinformation. And Robert van der Noorda traced that back to what's it called in English? It's like a daycare for people with disabilities. Who were being used to spread disinformation. So maybe in that sense, even worse, a process of spreading information that not only influences our opinion and our freedom of speech, but it also influences the people that are actually being misused to spread this type of
I was just wondering how they would have coerced these people to like these posts or to spread this kind of disinformation, right? So what would your advice be? So you said don't counter it with sort of actual factual information, but what should journalists do when they counter misinformation or disinformation?
Yeah, that's what we're trying to figure out now. I think first, never or always try to check whether a Twitter storm is actually legit.
Yeah.
What we know from journalists is that obviously they are on a beat, and if something online goes rogue about a topic that they are supposed to write about, and they feel like it's something that they weren't even aware of, you're very likely to just jump on that and start writing your little articles, like the articles that don't even mean anything, but you just need to do it because you're a journalist. I think that is a legit feeling, and we totally understand the pressure of delivering in the newsroom.
So it's sort of zoom out of your reflexes and then see what, maybe debunk the mechanism or the data that's behind. Yeah,
exactly. And what we're trying to do, and this is very much in the early phase, but this is why I got hired at DROG to develop this.
That was my next question. So,
yeah. Awesome. This is working. Is a thing called forensic journalism, and we still have to come up with the actual title for this project, but this is the working title. And the idea there is that we're gonna use these tools from Robert van den Noorde, the journalist that found out all these wonderful things, and try and see if we can make this available to more journalists in the Netherlands and hopefully in the rest of Europe as well.
So you don't have to have a technical background or an engineer, developer kind of background.
Exactly.
You still can use these kind of techniques.
Exactly. You cannot do this. Not every journalist can specialize in this type of data science. But what we can do is create task force that are at the ready for journalists to make sure that they can do the research that they need to do and truly find out what the truth is, right? Yeah. Which is the one thing that journalists are supposed to do.
And any idea on estimated timings or roadmap when these tools will become available for journalists?
We are hoping to start a pilot project for the upcoming Dutch elections.
And those are, for people that are not familiar with Dutch elections, in
March next year. So that's where we're going towards. Obviously, elections are the most important moments for these types of fact checks. And it would be amazing if we get to that point. So you gotta follow me to keep up to date for that.
Okay. Well, great. And